I think it's officially spooky season just because it's October. I wanted to read some spooky romances. I have not read a romance book in, I think, months. I don't remember the last one I read. So why not bring back my romance era with some spooky romances, starting with Butcher and Blackbird. I have no idea if I'm gonna like this book, even a little bit, but I'm excited to read it. So I guess it's, you know, I'm going in with a positive attitude. I know it's about two murderers that fall in love with each other. It's a dark romantic comedy, apparently. I don't know. I am like not into dark romance at all, and I know this is not like dark romance like mafia men. That's like immediately what I think of when I think dark romance, but I'm so nervous, but I'm also excited. Anyways, I keep saying the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna start reading. Of Butcher and Blackbird, and it's kind of cringy, especially the first part. I'd say the first like 100, maybe like 75 pages. Horrifically cringy. The dialogue, the jokes. Like, I just don't think that's my sense of humor. It's very, to me, very 2014 in a bad way. It's kind of getting better. We're kind of getting to know the characters more. That usually helps with the annoyingness. It's easier to ignore the cringiness if the characters actually have depth. And I'm not saying they have that much. It's just a bearable amount. We'll see how it goes. That's all I can say. The relationship between the two characters is actually pretty good. The romance is pretty good. I just don't like the dialogue usually. Like any dialogue outside of the romance I don't really like. But I also really think the pacing of this book is really good. Like, we are not lingering on any topics that don't need to be talked about, which is fantastic. So I'm like half and half. Like, the more that I like the romance, the less I care about the stuff that I don't like. So I don't know. I take it back. I'm really not enjoying this book. I enjoyed maybe 50 pages, the tension leading up to the romance, but I pretty much like that in any romance book, even if that's the only part that I like, which seems to be the case for this book. This in my opinion is so bad. This is just not. I thought it was gonna be like okay. See, this is just my fault. I thought it was gonna be like a cheesy little romance, but it's like a cheesy dark romance. And I have very little tolerance for cheesy romances anymore, and I have no tolerance for dark romances anymore. So this was in fact my mistake, but I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. But based off of what I just said, it makes sense why I feel that way. I'm on page 277 out of 320. I don't even want to read. How many pages is that? I literally don't know. It's not that, maybe 50? 43 pages. Okay. I'm gonna skip read the rest of this. I rated it 2 stars. I don't feel the need to speak on it further, and I will never talk about it again. Okay, hi. Today at work, I started listening to The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which is such a stupid name in my opinion, but like it makes sense in the book. Like it's not, like once she explains the reason that it's called that, I'm like, I forgive the title, but I still think it's crazy. That has nothing to do with the feelings I have about this book though, because I love it so far. I should tell you how far I am. I'm on chapter 8 on the audiobook. I'm not sure if that's the same chapter in the book. So I am 45% through the book. It's so cute. I don't know if people call it a Grumpy Sunshine book, but it's like, I hate when people say that, because Grumpy Sunshine to me is like, the man is just kind of grumpy for no reason, but this one he's just like really protective of the girls that she's teaching magic to. Oh, a protective man. I have a crush on him. But like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And she's not like overly like in his face, she's just like a pleasantly happy person, and he, oh, I love this. I love this dynamic where it's like a realistic version of like Grumpy Sunshine, like where it's like somebody who's naturally positive and somebody who's naturally not positive. Like that's really all it is. But I feel like the characters have a lot of depth, and I really am loving that. And I like the dynamic or the setting of it a lot more than I thought I was. Like I usually don't like when there's kids in books, but it's like, you know, she's teaching them magic, so it's less like she's trying to be their parent kind of thing, and there's just so many caretakers for the girls that it's like less like she's filling a role of like a mom, like usually like single dad or like single parent romances are, which make, anyways. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading because this is so good. My book, and it was so good. I give it 4 stars because it was just so cute and adorable, and I don't think it's like technically Halloween themed because they're witches, but in my mind it's like a spooky season, fall season kind of book, so it's like the perfect like themed read without being cheesy. So good. I loved that. Wouldn't you know, I read 2 books already. It's only halfway through the week, which means I can read more. Which, if you've never seen any of my videos before, I usually only read 2 books per week because I have a job and life and whatever. But romance books, I fly through. So then I'm gonna read more. I'm so excited. I've been like kind of thinking about what books I want to read. I think that I want to read Phantasma. I've heard a lot about that recently around the internet. I don't know who it's by, and I don't know what it's about, which is exactly how I like to start books. Okay, I'm just gonna use my phone because my air conditioning turned on and I don't feel like turning it off. But it's a dark fantasy romance, and it has vampires, shapeshifters, familiars, ghosts, necromancers, seers, witches, and specters. Okay. So I think that this has a game element to it. It's like I think it was Sarah Crowley's video that she said that it kind of reminded her of Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I read that earlier this year and I thought it was cute. Okay, so I'm gonna start this, and then a special addition to the video if I get through this book in a day, which is pretty likely. But Thursdays are usually okay. So today's Wednesday, and so tomorrow's Thursday. Hey, did you know? And then Thursdays for some reason are so hard for me. Like I can't do anything on Thursdays. Like I come home and I go to bed. But so depending on tomorrow, anyways, you know what I mean. If I finish this book fast enough, I'm going to read another book, and it's going to be a reread of Bride by Ali Hazelwood, because I read that in February when it came out. And honestly, it's perfect for spooky season, and also it's such a good romance. So I'm just excited either way. I feel like I've been talking too much, but I'm going to start reading Phantasma. Phantasma so far, and it's fine. We haven't gotten to the game yet, which is obviously like the main point of the book, or the main plot of the book, so we're still going through the setup, so I'm not loving it at the moment. Like, it's just so whatever. I like the setting. It's in New Orleans, these family of necromancers, which is, I don't think I've read about before, so this should be interesting. But yeah, I just wanted to do a super quick update before, because I think the game, like, I'm about to get into it. So these are my thoughts before. Well, and because I think there's some books that are similar to this where they have a game aspect. It's interesting how much time is spent before the game starts. Like in Powerless by Lauren Roberts, I feel like you spend a good couple chapters not in the games. But this one, it feels like it's coming up faster, which I like. I don't know, I'm rambling. That's it. Pages into Phantasma right now. I think we're about to start the second night of the games, and it's definitely picking up. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's like, I fully agree with the comparison to Caraval, but it's like darker, more twisted, more interesting. I feel like the games in this also makes more sense of why it's so confusing. I remember when reading Caraval, I was kind of frustrated because it felt like the characters always talked about how it disorients you and how confusing it is and how you don't know if something's real or fake, but there were no actual examples of that. But in this book, there are so many examples of it, with all like the creatures that are in the Devil's House or Devil's Manor. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm gonna read a little bit more like before I go to sleep, but I just wanted to give an update about where I'm at right now. So 5% through Phantasma, which is page 267. I've been enjoying it a lot so far, but I feel like where I am right now, it's slowing down a little bit, which is kind of annoying because I do feel like, obviously we have the game and there's like certain trials, or there's a certain number of trials in the game, so that's always exciting to look forward to, like the next challenge and what it is and how she gets through it and everything. But like her final goal of finding her sister and that being the only goal is like kind of annoying. Or like, you know, that's also something that bothered me about Caraval, which is like this book is literally just a darker version, an adult version of Caraval. Like, sorry if I'm making too many comparisons to them, but they're literally almost the exact same. No, they're just very similar. They're not the exact same. I don't know. I just find it annoying. I found it annoying in Caraval as well, where they just kept talking so much about finding their sister. I don't know. I guess that's just being harsh right now because she feels the pressure of like taking over her mother's necromancy business, and she has to like raise the dead, I think is her job. I don't really entirely know, but so hopefully she breaks out of that and realizes that's not her only future. So I don't know, it's good, but I kind of feel like we're a little bit rehashing the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna keep reading. I just finished Phantasma. I'm gonna give it 4 stars on Goodreads. This kind of took me by surprise. Halfway through the book, I was like starting to get convinced. It kind of went in waves, and then I would be like, oh, okay, it's not that good, and then I'd be like, wait, no, it's actually kind of really good. Anyways, I thought this was great. What a great read for Halloween, or for the spooky season in general. And there's another book coming that's gonna follow her sister, and I'm really excited about that. Like, seriously, if you like the series Caraval by Stephanie Garber, I think that's who it is, genuinely read this book. It's just an adult dark version of that, and it's so good. I think the pacing was kind of weird at some points, and this is so nitpicky, but sometimes it was way too detailed. Like, why are we describing her every single outfit, or like what every single demon or devil's outfit is? Like, I don't care about that. But that's also maybe just a me thing, because I have a really hard time imagining what characters look like, so I rather prefer over detailed descriptions of the scenery or the setting rather than what the characters are wearing or what they look like, because I can't even see what they look like anyways. That's like my very nitpicky comments about what I disliked about it, which is just something I had to look over. It's not even that I disliked it. So since today's Saturday, I'm unfortunately not going to get to read Bride, but that's okay. I did read it literally earlier this year, so like it's not like I'm like missing out on one of my most anticipated reads. Yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you're excited for more fall videos. I have more coming out. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you next week, and bye.